Hey guys, AJ here. So in this video, I'm going to bring you guys up to speed of what happened. I posted a video back in September of last year, and it's taken a while to come on here and give you guys the story and let you know what I'm doing and what you guys can do if you're going through similar things. All right, so I have some notes here because I haven't done too many of these, and they will get better with time, I promise. All right, so first of all, so last September, my divorce with the mother of my child finalized, and yeah, it took about 10, 11 months in the state of California. It was a long process, but everything's gone over that wave, and now it's just co-parenting, and you know, life's actually good, and that's what I'm going to get into, what we could talk about. So initially, towards the end of 2018, my wife, or ex-wife, she filed for divorce with me, and it came as a complete shock. I didn't see it coming at the time, and I was devastated. I was in a bad spot, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. I mean, you name it. When something like that happens, it just, you know, rocks your worldview, and that's what happened to me. And you know, I was actually home on leave. I'm in the military when it all came out, and I had a little over a month, and I tried frantically to save it. I did everything you can imagine, just about everything, and it was crazy. It was sad for me, and it was just a dark time, you know. And you know, her mind was made up, and there's nothing that I could have done at that time, and that's what happened. So just overview, because you're probably wondering, like, what the heck, right? So you know, my military career and just me being me had taken a toll on the family. You know, I was away a lot. I'd been out here in Japan for 5 months, and you know, we were married altogether 7 years, and just a lot of it's a hard life for anybody. It's a hard life, you know. Just being married in general is hard, let alone, you know, being in the military. And yeah, it took her toll, and she was done. So we have a little one, I'm sorry, and she's 4 now. She would have been, what, she had just turned 3. She was almost 3 when it all started. And so what happened is, the bottom line, I guess, is, you know, that happened, and you know, this was my new reality coming off of leave, coming back out here to Okinawa, and you know, I was in shock. You know, I had to hire an attorney, which was a lot of money. So, but hey, it's just money, right? And you know, I went through the process. You know, just guys, you know, ladies, whoever's watching this, if you're going through something similar, it sucks. I'll be honest. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. I'll put it like that. And you know, it was painful, very hurtful, painful for me, and I'm sure for her as well, and just everybody involved. And you know, it took a toll on my focus. You know, I had been, you know, very focused, career-oriented. That was one of the things, contributing factors, I would say, that led to this. I was very career-oriented. You know, depends how you look at it. You know, I've seen, you know, where that wasn't always a positive thing. You know, just owning that part of it. And here I am coming back, you know, little over halfway through my career, and I had to go on a major operation in another country. And my focus was not where it was supposed to be, and a lot of stuff suffered, I'll be honest. And that was kind of like, you know, you're going in your career sometimes, and something happens, and, you know, you have a little speed bump. Yeah, I do animation from time to time, so, and facial expressions. This is dad in me, I guess. But, yeah, so, you know, it was a busy time, and that was a month after she filed, and man, like just being in a different time zone, shooting emails with a lawyer. Every email's money, every phone call's money, and it added up quick. It really did. It was not fun on the pocket, but again, money's not everything. So what I did is I trusted in God and His promise that He will never leave or forsake you, no matter what you're going through, and that gave me comfort. And that's even though I did trust in Him, I still experienced emotions. And if you're going through something, you will experience it. I had every emotion you can imagine. From just bitterness, sadness, anger, all these things. And it was just a roller coaster. And you're going through it. And divorce it's a death of a family, death of a marriage. God didn't intend for it to happen, but for whatever reason, sin comes in, whether it's, career mindset, you're not focusing, or, just whatever the case may be. And it's unfortunate, but, I trusted in His promise. And I wasn't going to stay down either. And, fortunately, I had the right friends. I picked the right friends. I had family, the in-laws, and just mentors during this time, and that really helped me. I look to choose what is in my control. So for you, if you're going through it doesn't have to be a divorce, but if you're going through something, and it sucks, what can you control? You hear that a lot, and I believe it's true. And what I could control was what I did when I wasn't at work. All right. And I'm going to get into that now. So, first and foremost, I grew closer to the Lord, and I was learning, I was studying the Word more. I was trying to figure out what happened. Here's this, from the outside, it looks like this wonderful family, and where did I go wrong? What did the Word say about it? Or, just not just all me, but in general, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I was doing. And also trying to just turn to the Word of God to get me through it, and Him. And, I also made some really good friends, still have them through the fellowship I was in at my church. And, so I could control that. I could control what I was doing in my off time, because you go from being this family guy, not the show, but family oriented as far as what your focus is, and or what have you, and now all of a sudden that part is changes, it looks differently. You no longer have a spouse that you're doing things for, and a lot of guys I think can take it the wrong way and go down a destructive path, and I want to make sure that didn't happen with me, because it's not the answer. And so I did that. I did college. I finished my third year towards my bachelor's degree online while I was out here, and that took a lot of time. I got into fitness, right? So I started adding the gym to my routine, because you have a sound body, you'll have a sound mind. And one of my mentors, he knows who he is. He's like, hey, what do you do for yourself? What are you doing for you? What do you like to do? What did you used to like to do? And, fitness had always been something that I liked to do, but I was taking, whether it was, after, skipping the gym in the evening to go home and be around the family, or, whatever. So I was like, what, I'm going to do it. So I got back into it. I've been consistent, and it's a great stress reliever as well. Not to mention, I had to navigate how to grow closer to my daughter, because even though I was out here, it changed, because where she was staying changed with her mom and whatnot, and they moved, and it was a new environment. There was a lot of new things in her life, and and I had to control as best I could that piece of it. And that's what I did. So we video chat nearly every day. We have her scheduled time. It's usually around her coming home from the sitter, or around bath time, bedtime. So that's kind of me and my daughter's routine. And we video chat, we play games, I make puppets. I had a puppet, and she plays and talks to it. She thinks he's my friend, and maybe I'll do a video about that later. I'm not sure yet. But you have to get creative. Dads, guys, if you're we're blessed with technology, use it to your advantage. And that's what I've been doing. Another thing that I've done, is just staying positive when I'm talking to her on the phone or talking to her mom, because even though she was, turning 3, she's 4 now, they might not understand, but everyone knows kids can feel emotion. And, no matter what was going on in the background when I talked to her, or things that maybe just things that were different, I had to stay positive for her, because it's never the kid's fault. And a lot of studies shown that kids, they can internalize that. And so I've always just been positive in general, and then with her, that's another thing I did. So another thing I did for myself, and guys, there's sometimes you got to be a tough guy. But I wasn't seeing a therapist. I had 6 months of just cognitive therapy, talking to someone, just from that aspect, looking through walking through what happened, and all that kind of stuff, and that helped me as well. And I mentioned talking with some of my mentors and spiritual mentors and pastors regularly also helped me, guys. And I had a few coworkers that I got close with that I kind of let in, but you guys got to be careful when you're going through something like this, or you having something going on. Be careful who you let in, because whatever your values are initially might change if you let not, I don't want to say the wrong kind of people, but if you let someone in that their values don't align with yours. So to be very careful, again, to not go down that path, which I didn't want to go down that path. Excuse me. So I did that. So now that I talked about some of the things I did, I want to transition to some of the mistakes I made during this, what is almost 2 years now, this 11-month divorce process, and then the last 8-9 months. So it's a warning. I'm gonna get into this. I had to be careful when I tiptoed back into the dating, and because the last time I dated I was like 22, and that's before I knew Jesus, and it was different. So I came back. So now I'm a guy, but I'm trying to live for the Lord. I'm not perfect. I've stumbled. I've made mistakes. I've done things I probably shouldn't have done, and that's part of life. But we have, I believe we have salvation. We have, forgiveness through Christ. But anyway, so getting back into that. So guys, and maybe this applies to ladies, but if you are emotionally not ready and go into dating that way, you might hurt the other person that you're dating, because like my therapist, I remember, said, hurt people. So if you're going into something and that it's not going to go where the other person expects it, then you shouldn't be doing it. I'll put it like that. And one thing I did learn in therapy was expectations and boundaries. And I'll probably get into that in another video. So guys, people, if you're coming out of a relationship, be careful, because you might hurt someone else, but you also might hurt yourself, because I was dealing with a lot of emotions like, do I still love my ex-wife? Can I have a relationship with another woman? I'm just being honest with y'all. Stuff like that would happen with me. And again, it's not fair to those other people, guy or girl, if you're a lady watching this, and maybe you can relate too. So that's something I've learned, and I wanted to share with you guys. So what do you have left, right? So look at your life and see, hey, maybe, my marital status changed, or my career changed, or, I lost somebody, someone passed away. What do you have left that you're here with? And for me, it was my daughter, or the children that are part of your life. And I mentioned earlier we video chat. Another thing that I do is I started this journal for her right after the separation started, and I'll write to her. Sometimes a paragraph, sometimes a page. It just depends. And what I write is, maybe something she did funny on video chat, or something her mom told me about that she did for the first time. Like the other day, she got dressed for the first time, and I was like, wow, I'm over here, but I want her to know later that I was there, if that makes sense. So my plan for this journal, and I had one of the chaplains here at my unit recommended something like this. And what I'm doing is when she turns 18, goes to college or leaves the house, I'm just going to give it to her. And, I put little lessons in there about friends and love and relationships. And I try to do it from that father's perspective, because I can only imagine what it's going to be like for her she's 4 now, in 14, 15 years. So I just want her to have a piece of me, my words written down on paper that she can have for, the rest of her life. So that's something I'm doing. And it was a great idea. Definitely recommend something like this, whether it's this or, a video blog or something, guys, because you gotta realize what you have left. And a lot of time, it's people. What can you control? So sometimes I'll share my day, something funny that happened to me, and I'll write it to her, because I remember she's 4 now, but when she reads this, she'll be 18 or 19 years old, and I'm trying to talk like that with her. And what a surprise as she goes off to college, right? Like, oh, what'd you get? I got a brand new car. My dad gave me a journal. Hopefully she doesn't view it like that. I don't think she will. So that's what I was, I'm left with. And also, I've been thinking about my plan for returning, because, it's COVID-19 going on, but I'll be leaving Japan relatively soon after this stops, I guess. And I'm going to be going back to the Southwest to be closer to her for my next duty assignment. So what I'm planning is, just spending a lot of time with her, making memories. I want to do a lot of camping, off-roading type stuff with her, just me and her, or maybe some friends, and just bonding. I want to do something with her outdoors, and that way she appreciates, the passion I have for outdoors. Also, I'm thinking about, whatever sport she gets into, or fitness, just modeling a healthy image of her father, instead of going down that other path. I do not want to be bitter. I do not want to be resentful. I don't want her to look at me and see someone who, as she gets older, see someone who never found joy in her life and in his life, and that's not going to be me. So lastly, before I end this, I'd like to thank the Lord for all he's done in my life. And a psalm that I'll just share with you guys, just because it's the truth for me. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. So 100% for me that was true. As last year when I was going through this, and the year before leading up to it, and I was crushed, guys. If you knew me, you were watching this and you were part of it through it, you guys know I was a mess. But the one thing that got me through was his promise and the Lord. And that psalm again, Psalm 34:18, man, it comforted me, and he comforted me. And so guys, dads, people, whoever's watching this, just be encouraged, because when this all started, I thought my life was over and I'd never smile or be happy again. And, it's just living proof that you can come back from anything. I just want to share that part of my story with y'all. Please comment, like, share if this is something that impacted you. If it's not, I'm sorry. I wasted 20 minutes of your life, and sorry. But other than that, I'm going to keep this channel. I'm not sure how active I'm going to be. I want to be more active on it because I have some ideas. Just so you all know, again, to summarize, live up to lift up, and it's just something I came up with that I think we need this because there's a lot of negativity, and what I want to start doing is just sharing what I'm doing, whether it's fitness. Had a quarantine workout I posted, and have a lift up Instagram page, or live up to lift up. I'm sorry, and I post a lot of my workouts, stuff I'm doing, and looking forward to the next couple months after I leave Okinawa, and want to share some of the daddy-daughter stuff I started doing with you guys, and just keep you in the loop. All right, thank you guys for watching. God bless you, and have a great day.